Hello dear friends, I am Professor M. Masoom Raza from Department of Library Information Science, AMU, Aligarh. So in the previous lecture we have discussed different charging and discharging methods, and basically we are discussing all the learning methods. So in the learning methods I have already covered the register system. Within the register system we have covered the daybook system, and then we have covered the ledger system. And then I briefly about the one card, temporary slip, one card, and then from one card to two card system. Two card system again is quite important because it is widely used, you can say, for a mediocre library, for a medium library, you can say. It is a widely used, most economical, most convenient, and very flexible system. So the two card system is a very popular system. We have discussed within two card system, we have discussed the Brown system, and I told you about the New York system also. I told you about the Dr. S.R. Ranganathan system also. And then we have discussed the mechanical charging system, Dickman charging system also we have discussed. So today I'll tell you about the photo charging system, or simply we can call it as a photographic system also. So these two systems also, they were tried in some of the libraries in America and elsewhere. So the idea was if the whole process of charging can be photographed and the proper record keeping can be done, because in the most important thing here, especially in the circulation system, is to record the charging and discharging process. And at least the library should know, or the circulation section or the division should know, this book has been, any particular document, or for that matter a book, has been given to whom. Means the details of the document as well as the details of the user, that should be very clear. And there should be a record also whenever the library needs at any point of time, either to justify their stand or to just see or just to analyze which book has been used and how many times it has been used. There has to be some kind of record keeping. So in the earlier days, a lot of systems were experimented. So one out of those systems is the photo charging or photographic system also. So the photographic system is a very unique system. You prepare all the things as normally we do in the card system, but the more important is how the whole process of charging and the discharging can be photographed, and a permanent record can be maintained. So that was the beauty of it. And the next to photo charging, we will cover the audio charging also, almost on the same lines. So another mechanism which is little cheaper than the photo charging or the photographic charging. It was little cheaper in the sense that at least you have to maintain the audio records. Means the person at the charging desk or the library staff will speak out the complete details of the document and the complete details of the user, and everything will be recorded in the audio tapes, and that recorded audio tapes with pre-dated pre-transaction cards can be filed and as a reference, as a record. So these two systems were tried as far as the evolution of charging and discharging systems is concerned. So today we will discuss these two systems and let's see how it functions. So you can see here, I'll just what I will do, I will just divide my lecture in two components, and the first component will discuss the photo charging system or photographic system, and within the photographic system I'll discuss the tools which are required or the paraphernalia which are required, and then we will discuss the charging procedure and then discharging. Then again, as usual, we will discuss the advantage and disadvantage of the this photo charging system or photographic system. And in the second part, I'll talk about the audio charging, where I'll talk about again about the tools required, means paraphernalia required for operating the system, and then we'll discuss the charging system and discharging system, and then again the advantages and disadvantages. This is how we are going to cover our lecture. So first, you can see for the photo charging or photographic system, what are the tools required here. That also I'll segregate in 3 parts. As usual, we are doing it in the earlier systems. I'll tell you what are the requirements for the books, what are the requirements for the reader or the user, and what are the requirements for the library staff. Any staff who is sitting at the circulation counter, they also require certain paraphernalia, and that paraphernalia will be important for the staff. Without paraphernalia, the operation of the system will be a little difficult. So, what are the tools required for the books? So, as I told you, you can just imagine that everything will be almost same. So, on the right hand corner of the flyleaf, that certain details are written in ink. That is, author is written, title is written, call number is written, and call number is nothing else but a unique alphanumeric code assigned to the book, used for shelving and locating the books within the library. Book pocket has to be ready. And then for the reader, what is important is the identification card is, again, that is typically similar in size and shape as the reader's ticket, and designed for easy handling and storage. That's the idea. And its compact form allows readers to carry it conveniently. So it is made up of xylonite, a durable and light weight material that ensures the card's longevity and resistance to wear and tear. So that is a borrower's card. And for the staff, what is required is the photo charging machine. Photo charging machine is a central component of the system basically here, and is responsible for capturing images of the circulation records into microfilms, and it automates the process of recording book transactions, reducing the need for manual data entry. So one more advantage you will find here in the system is you don't have to manually enter anything, whereas in case of New York system we have seen the manual entry is there. You have to enter the call number and then embossing the due dates at 2 places and 3 places. In the New York system, Brown system, you don't have to do anything manually, but you have to emboss 2 due date stamps. Whereas in Dickman charging, again it is mechanical that we have seen. Here also there is no manual writing anywhere. Everything that photo charging machine will be doing it. So then different sizes of film rolls are required to accommodate various capacities and preferences. The common size include 250 feet, 100 feet, 50 feet rolls, and each suitable for a specific type of machine or the volume of records. So that was something strange which is required for this system. And the microfilm reader is essential for accessing and viewing the microfilm circulation record, because ultimately whenever the user will come to return it, so you require a reader also to just go through those films and see whether he was a person and that particular document was issued, and when the person is returning, is he returning the same document. So for that you have to identify the first film roll. But that film roll is arranged as per the transaction number, predated. I told you the predated pre-transaction card is there, and those predated transaction cards that you have to, with the help of the predated transaction card, you have to identify the film rolls and then again play that film with the help of the machine, and then you can see exactly which particular document has been issued. So after verification only the book is supposed to be discharged or supposed to be returned. And then again the spare bulbs and fuses are necessary for maintenance and repair of the photo charging machines. Then envelopes are needed to transport exposed film rolls to the laboratory for processing, because again it's going to be the film rolls which you have, it needs proper processing also. And as I told you, predated, pre-numbered transaction cards are used in conjunction with the photo charging system to record book transactions. So all these things will be required for the staff. You can imagine to what extent the preparations are required. Then how the charging system or how the charging process is initiated, or how this whole system operates. So just I'll elaborate little so that you can understand what it is. So the borrower is supposed to bring the book to the issue counter. As usual in all the systems, the borrower is doing the same thing, because borrower is supposed to go to the public catalog, search for the call number, then go to the stack area, search with the help of the shelf list, try to find out the document, and once the document is located, just pick up the document and come to counter, circulation counter. And when you present the book with the membership identification card to the person whosoever is at the circulation counter. So what preparation they will do now? The counter assistant places a book, a pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction card and the identification card in the microfilmer. And these items are positioned in a specific manner as required by the type of photo charging machine being used. Different type of photo charging machines are there. So accordingly, whatever type of machine you are using, accordingly film will be used and accordingly the item will be positioned. So then you need to initiate the filming process. So the counter assistant presses the switch of the microfilmer to initiate the filming process, and the machine captures the record of issuing the book onto microfilm. So the whole process is recorded. Means the whole process is filmed, you can say. And once the entire film roll, so because the film has got a certain length, as I told you, 250 feet, 100 feet, 50 feet, it depends. It has got, until unless the whole film will be over, you cannot remove the film. So ultimately what you can do is that pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction card is inserted in the book pocket and the user is asked to go with the book. The user is asked to leave with the book. So the document is supposed to be issued. But normally what this circulation counter staff, what he or she will be doing is, once the film is over, then only they can send it to the laboratory. Until unless the film is complete, they will continue with the process. And once the entire film roll is exhausted, the film is taken out of the microfilmer and then the new roll of film is installed in the machine to continue the capturing of circulation records. And then how the return process is initiated, and the return of the books, you can see after processing is finished, the book along with the transaction card that is inserted in the book pocket is handed back to the reader, and the borrower is then at a liberty to retrieve the book and continue with the borrowing endeavors. So this is how the borrowing is over, and then we will see how the document is returned. So the discharging procedure or the return process describes the following steps. It can be described in the following steps. What are the steps here? The presentation of the book again. So the borrower presents a book for return at the issue counter. Then ultimately the verification has to be done. So the book is presented in an open position, allowing the counter assistant to see the serial letter on the transaction card placed in the book pocket. I told you the pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction card is inserted in the book pocket, and that will be the cue here. So with the help of that pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction card, the library assistant or library staff will come to know which role, means in which particular role this whole process of issue has been recorded. And then the counter assistant, after verification, the book is overdue by the checking the information on the transaction card, and if it is overdue, then the penalty will be charged, and if it is not overdue, then the process of return has to be initiated. So if the book is not overdue, the counter assistant extracts the transaction card, means ultimately the card will be taken out, that is removal of transaction card will be taken out from the book pocket, and subsequently the transaction card is arranged in the numerical order and deposited into the designated box or the tray allocated for this specific purpose, which is located at the counter. Then after removing the transaction card, the counter assistant returns the book to the library collection, and by doing so, completing these steps, the borrower is absolved of their responsibility for returning of books. So ultimately, just checking that the book has been returned well in time, the whole film will be played, and the record will be seen that okay, this particular document was issued on such and such day, and this is the due date, and if the due date, if the reader is returning on the due date, nothing will be charged. If it is overdue, then the penalty will be charged, and the pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction card will be inserted in the tray, which is meant for that purpose. So now coming to the advantages, what advantage this system had. So as you can see, at least these are some of the things which are very important, and out of all these things, Third, that is permanent record is more important, because ultimately when you are going to film the process, whole process, when the book is in front of you and pre-dated pre-numbered transaction card is also in front of you, book is also in front of you, reader's card is also in front of you, means library membership card, that is also in front of you. You film the process that okay, this particular user has been issued this book and this was a pre-dated pre-numbered transaction card. So with the help of pre-dated pre-numbered transaction card, at least you can ascertain the due date, and you can also ascertain the film roll number also, the transaction number is also there, and you can keep a permanent record that this particular document was issued to such and such user. So this is something which was missing in case of Brown system. And New York also, it is partially done, because you enter the call number, and especially in the membership cum library card and membership cum identity card, and what you do is, for the library, wherever you have the due date, you try to write the membership number and just encircle it. And later on, because you don't have much details, only thing is you are encircling the membership number. So at any point of time you want to verify that okay, to whom this document was issued, you can verify with the help of membership number. And as far as the user is concerned, user is having the call number of all the documents. But if the user is not you can say not capable enough to read the call number or interpret the call number, then probably it is difficult. Because for library sciences students, you can interpret the call number, but for any user who comes from the botany, zoology, chemistry, physics, maths, it doesn't understand what the call number is. Probably he does only understand that, okay, this is a main class. So chemistry fellow, any student of chemistry understands 540, 530, 540, 550, 580, 590, they understand. Rest nothing. So thing is exactly what the title is. Until unless you decipher the call number, or you try to interpret digit by digit, you interpret the call number, then only you can make out what the title is. So normally it does not have much value for the reader. Simply writing the call number in the membership card, or with that membership come iCard, which in the New York system we are having, if you simply write the call number, is valuable in one sense that okay, you have the complete log of all the transactions, and whenever you want to verify, you can verify it with the help of call number. So, but when you compare all those systems with this system is having a very, you can say, very comprehensive record. So comprehensive record in the sense means they are trying to film the whole process, and while filming, they will keep the book also in front of you, and reader card also in front of you, and then pre-dated pre-numbered transaction card also in front of you. So that is more than sufficient to understand that this type of record keeping is not possible in any other system, although the whole process is cumbersome. Although I said the whole process is very, you can say, not so easy, very cumbersome, and it takes a lot of time also, and it needs a lot of preparation also. You need that kind of machine, then bulb, then fuses, and then you need those tapes also, photo charging, then you need a laboratory to process those tapes. So, but thing is, it was tried in some libraries, and but it was not very economical, not time saving. So probably the idea was resource is more important for us. Books are more important than anything else. So to save the book and to use the resources or to use the collection for a better purpose, and with the hope that we will not lose it, or we will be able to catch any person whosoever tries to misuse our collection. So with this intention, if somebody is doing it, it was well and good. But if you try to study the economics of it, so you will not find it very economical. It's time consuming also, but the speed and accuracy is there definitely, because when you are not doing anything manually, accuracy is there. And number two, speed is there, because when everything is set, because you have to keep everything in one alignment, and then just film it, and the microfilmer will just simply film it. You have to just keep it in a proper places, and then just film the process. So nothing can be, you can say, you are not going to lose anything here, because the complete details of the document, complete details of the user, the complete details of the pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction card is there. So you are not going to lose anything here. So all these record is permanent record, and a speedy process. Simply switch the button and the microfilmer is on, and it will film the whole process. So that's the beauty of it. So speed and accuracy is definitely the advantage of the system. Then coming to the resources part, Definitely the intention is to save the resources, because the system leads to significant saving in the stationery, staff, time, since manual recording and processing are minimized or simply eliminated, you can say. Permanent record is maintained, that you have seen. The issue and return permanent record is there. Then professional staff utilization is there. The professional staff members are effectively utilized at the issue and return counters, and the system streamlines the tasks into clerical functions, minimizing the need for specialized skills. So, and then speed and accurate statistics can be generated out of it. So these are some of the advantages of the system. And then coming to disadvantage. So the disadvantage, definitely difficulty in locating the books, and locating the book can be challenging. Finding a particular book can be challenging since no book cards are kept at the counter. And locating the book requires reading through the entire roll or film using a microfilm reader. That is a big task, because here you have the book pocket, but you don't have the book cards. So location, again, it will be difficult. Whenever you want to locate it, you have to just go through all the films. So that is something very cumbersome. The lack of reader's record. Readers do not have the record of the books they have previously read, because ultimately the whole process was filmed. When you bring it back, the person at the circulation counter will take out the pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction card. From there, ascertain the film roll, take out the film roll, and just certify that okay, the book has been returned and this is not overdue. And if it is overdue, then penalty will be charged. So you are not able to maintain, user is not able to maintain, or reader is not able to maintain any record of the transaction or the issue and return. No return record is maintained, that you can see. And then limited stock taking is there. The proper stock taking is challenging because there is no reliable record available to determine which book are still issued and which are available in the library's collection. So the stock taking process is also difficult when we are following this photo charging system, and difficulty in asserting the issue dates. So misplacement or record of the transaction cards, especially, just suppose some user loses the transaction card. So in that case, it will be difficult to ascertain the issue dates. So that will pose a significant challenge in accurately determining the issue dates of the books, and resulting in the potential inaccuracies in record keeping. So this is all about the photo charging system, and now we will take up the audio charging system. Next is audio charging. Audio charging system was introduced at St. Louis County Public Library, and this is a public library in USA, and it bears a resemblance to the photo charging system. And however, instead of using the microfilm to record the information, this system employs a commercial dictation machine to verbally record the necessary details onto tapes or recording discs. So this innovative approach to charging books streamlines the process by eliminating the need for written records, similar to the benefits seen in the photo charging system. So process is almost same. Only the difference is probably the photo charging. That process was becoming costly because of the films and because of that machine. But here, though, at least this will be a little cheaper than the photo charging system, because you are using here the audio mechanism. Means everything will be recorded in the audio or in the voice form. So once it is recorded, and then again the tapes are maintained, the tapes will also be saved with the pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction cards only. And whenever the process of issue has to be there, issue has to take place, then the whole thing will be recorded, and same process is done. So let's see what the process is. Again, what are the tools required here? I told you for the books, what we require: book pockets, and these pockets contain essential details such as the call number, author, title, and accession number. And for the reader, you have reader's identification card and provided to the borrower for identification purpose. Then staff, what they require is membership registration file is required, and microphone will be required, and that microphone will be used in conjunction with the dictating machine for recording. That is the purpose here. Then receipt book is required, and this is utilized for documenting overdue charges. Then overdue reminder cards used to remind borrowers of overdue material. Then envelopes required, used for just filing the discs, and tapes or disc recording media for storing the spoken information. And then charts for statistics charts or forms for recording circulation statistics that is required for the staff. We can see how the charging takes place. So the borrower is supposed to again present the book along with the identification card to the counter assistant. This is same in all the systems, and the counter assistant identifies the reader and retrieves a pre-dated pre-numbered transaction card, which is then inserted into the book pocket. This is just similar to the photo charging system, and using the microphone connected to the dictating machine, the counter assistant proceeds to record the following details. What details will be recorded? Reader's name, address, membership number, and the identification card from the identification card, and then transaction card number will be recorded. Then particulars of the book being loaned, including author, title, call number, accession number, all these things will be recorded. And upon completion of the recording process, the book and the identification cards are returned to the borrower. And then what next is, the first and the last number of the transaction cards are recorded on the index strips along with the corresponding details on the disc or tapes. So the index strip, discs or tapes are filed in the evening for record keeping. This is how the charging takes place. Then again, the charging means how the book is returned and what all process is taken up during the discharging. So upon return of the book, the counter assistant retrieves the transaction card. Again, the transaction card is inserted in the book pocket. So ultimately, the library assistant will take out the pre-dated pre-numbered transaction card from the book pocket and then place it in the appropriate filing tray, and any applicable fine, if it is overdue, applicable fines will be charged, marking the completion of the discharging process. Then renewals are facilitated by creating new transaction cards with the details of the book recorded on these cards. These renewal cards are filed in a dictated renewal file. For issuing overdue notices, the transaction cards file is consulted to identify any missing number, and the counter assistant then uses a playback position near the missing number or the disc to ascertain the particulars of the reader and books, which are subsequently recorded on the overdue cards. Then coming to the advantage, what are the advantages of this system? This is again, as I told you, it is speedy and accurate because automatically things are recorded and there is no manual writing anywhere. So when the machine is to be used, definitely the system will be quick and speedy. The system facilitates swift and precise issuance and return of the books, enhancing efficiency in the library operation. Then this minimizes the wastage also. It helps in avoiding unnecessary consumption, especially of the personal, material, stationery, resources, contributing to the cost effectiveness. And it also differentiates professionals and clerical duties because clearly defined roles between the professional staff and clerical staff, optimizing workflow and task allocation. That is also the advantage of this system. And then it simplifies daily statistics because it streamlines the process of daily statistics, counting, aiding in effective monitoring and analysis of library usage. Then it maintains a permanent record. That is the beauty of both the systems. It maintains a permanent record. Thing is, retrieval is difficult. How to retrieve the films, how to retrieve the audio tapes, that is a little difficult. And if you don't have, because you don't have the book card, so you cannot ascertain the due date on your own until unless the user returns the document and you are not able to see the pre-dated, pre-numbered transaction cards. You will not be in a position to just find out the films. You will not be in a position to find out the tapes. You will not be in a position to find out the discs. And if that transaction card is lost, the whole thing will be chaotic. So that is the issue. And if the transaction card is there, you can, with the transaction number and alphabet, you can identify the disk, you can identify the tapes, you can identify the roles. And once you play those roles, then only you can ascertain that it is overdue or on due date. The book is being returned on the due date or it is overdue. So these are some of the things. But overall, if we just see the beauty of this, both these systems is a permanent record is maintained, is speed and accuracy. So that is something which is remarkable here. And it requires a simple machine here because this is a cheaper version, I told you, as compared to the photo charging. This audio charging is cheaper one because you require a simple machine here and that utilizes straightforward machinery, minimizing the need for complex equipment and reducing the maintenance cost also. Then it provides easy access to information, offers convenient access to information regarding the overdue books stored on tapes or discs, and facilitating prompt handling of overdue notices and book management. So this is the beauty of the system. Then definitely it will have certain disadvantages also. As I told you, the lack of the physical card at the counter means that is because we don't have the book card here. So in any case, it will not be possible for the library staff to find out to whom the document has been issued until unless you play the whole, you just see the whole desk or play the whole film or the whole tape. You will not be able to, you will not be in a position to ascertain to whom the document has been issued, and that is the biggest drawback of this circulation system. Some readers may feel uncomfortable also having their names and addresses recorded while borrowing the books. So little awkward also for the user. But if the user has to get the document issued, so and all the details they have already revealed to the library, so there should not be any problem. But some of the users they do have. Then stock taking becoming challenging again, because every time you cannot have all the books, and without a reliable system in place, it is very difficult. Then again, another drawback of the system is the malfunctions, because whenever you are using the machine, because machines, it is always open to any kind of problem and any kind of malfunctioning. So that can lead to various difficulties, and it is impossible to determine whether a book has been returned, leading to the potential complications. So this is also a big problem. Difficulties in locating a particular book on the desk, because you have to play the whole desk to find out to whom the document has been issued. Then inaccuracies may occur while dictating the information, leading to the potential errors in the recorded data. Because when the dictation is given, there can be some inaccuracies. So these are some of the disadvantages of this system. So here we have finished the photo charging and audio charging system, and then we'll move on with the new systems probably which are being used in the modern libraries. Thank you very much.